Rockers, rockers, rockers. Black Donnelly Radio. Blood clot. Rockers, rockers, rockers. Black Donnelly Radio. Blood clot. Hey, it's Anthony checking in with you here. Now, if you're a lover of reggae music, welcome to Jamaica. Now, there's no argument the island of Jamaica is definitely the home of the sound of reggae music, but there's a little piece in that island of paradise called Trench Town that's undeniably the birthplace of reggae music. Now, in the late 1960s, it was coined as the Hollywood of Jamaica, and without question, the birthplace of reggae, but it's also the birthplace of rocksteady as well, and the home of reggae ambassador superstar Mr. Robert Nesta Marley. Now, the land was once worked for livestock by an Irishman that went by the name of Daniel Power way back in the 18th century, and then the Trench family abandoned the land in the late 18th century, leaving it as Trenchtown. Reggae fun facts. Most people believe the word reggae comes from the Jamaican slang term reggae, which means ragged because, well, it's a mix of different styles sewn together. But others will tell you that the term reggae comes from the Latin reggae, meaning to the king. Fun fact number 2, 1968, Toots and the Males Do the Reggae was the first popular song to use the word reggae in the actual music. Number 3, Reggae Month is celebrated in February, which was chosen because the King, Robert Nesta Marley, and the Crown Prince, Mr. Dennis Brown, were both born during that month, and it's the first Reggae Month which was celebrated in 2010. And number 4, what the hell was going on before reggae music? Well, it was ska and rocksteady, which developed into different genres such as roots and dubs and dancehall. And last but not least, number 5, reggae gets its distinctive sound from placing its rhythmic accent on the offbeat, which is what reggae artists call skanking. Now, it's a characteristic that where the role of the bass guitar essentially is reversed, with the bass taking the melodic lead and the guitar providing the rhythm. Now, as we all know, the birthplace of reggae and the defining sound belongs to the island of Jamaica. By boat, by plane, and by train, it arrived in the United Kingdom, and they embraced it with open arms. Now, when the sound of the island hit the British island, it was first taken in by the West Indian community. Ska and early reggae at that point was something that was pretty hard to find, and slowly trickling into the mainstream, and special record collectors could find it or get their hands on it in special record shops. The sound offered something fresh and new for the working class schemes of the likes of Brixton and other pockets and other manors and terraces all across London and the rest of the United Kingdom. But one of the greatest things about reggae music in the United Kingdom was it got blacks and whites together, united, all as one. And it wasn't long before the sound of the island was rising to the top, and by the 70s, British reggae had hit the streets. Now, it combined itself together with rock and roll and punk and a whole bunch of other genres that is still relevant to this day. It was hands down a sound that was shaping and owning its own right in British musical culture. The reggae sound in the United Kingdom had become so strong that it actually became a mirror for the cultural and racial changes that were transforming in Britain, and that's when we seen reggae rise to the mainstream. And it was around this time that the expats from the United Kingdom brought it over to the likes of Canada and North America. Now, Mr. Shane Hawkins, folks, being no exception to the rule, the trickle-down effect lands on our Blackbird DJ Shane Hawkins Rednote selector. Now, our Blackbird's got a brand new bag, a whole new edition for his 40th Highview celebration show titled The Jamaican Jukebox. I got a chance to chat with him on the line. Rockers, 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 Black Donnelly Radio. Blood clot. So tell me then, Mr. DJ Rednote, what is the Jamaican Jukebox all about, brother?
It's so easy, to get caught up with having the latest and greatest in music and things. I fall victim to that too sometimes. We often forget the many great things that have come and passed. So I've prepared a carefully curated mix to pay due respect to the great times of the past. So as usual, I select the music in standard Rednote fashion. Mm-hmm. After all, this is episode 40 of the Highview. It's a big thing for me.
I was seeing that. It's a little bit of an anniversary. You got a big 40 there. Congratulations, by the way.
Cheers, man. Yeah, it kind of snuck up out of nowhere. Perfect timing, right? Spring into episode 40.
Yeah.
So, I had to come strong and bring some heavy top ranking original recording stuff, straight out of Jamaica. Mainly which a lot of the stuff has a soul or like a rock and roll original tune that is equally as good in my opinion. It features some of the most memorable tunes that my family would play. That's a real special time for me, and I kind of imagine what that period in my life would have been like growing up in Jamaica, and decided to put together this mix called the Jamaican Jukebox.
So there's some family juju in this.
Yeah, man. It's a tribute, if you will, to all of our past, and the good music of the 50s and the 60s. with a Jamaican twist, something special for the listeners, like with a whole jukebox full of tunes to keep your feet and memories moving in that cool direction of the golden classics of the 50s and 60s. One of my father's favorites by the Everly Brothers, and a hot one from Johnny Cash, like a whole slew of real classic tunes, man, for sure.
There was one thing that the Islanders were good at, and that was taking other American songs and turning it into their own reggaes.
Yeah, being at that and in their own right came up with a lot of originals that that the Americans ended up covering as well. So it's kind of like a swap back and forth of real good tunes.
Oh, there was a tit for tat there for sure, like Blondie, Heart of Glass, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was amazing, and it's amazing to see like how many classic tunes that we all grew up with have a reggae version, and like I said, some of them stand up even stronger than the classics that we all grew up and learned to love, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I was saying, I put this little stash aside for the right moment. I've been waiting for it, and Highview 40 seemed like the right time. The message that I hope you can hear weaved into this mix is one of nostalgia and of the classic times. We hear from our parents often, like when they talk about, and obviously they cherish those times dearly. So take a piece of that and bring those times a little closer to today and appreciate them all over again, or for some of you, I guess, for maybe the first time. And I guess, enjoy a little special piece of my collection. It's up now on Mixcloud, proudly for Black Dolly Media.
Nice. That's the high priest of the high priest saying to everybody, take a little piece and pass it on. We're going to check it out. The Highview Show 40th edition Jamaican Jukebox Show only on BlackDollyMedia.com. Rock us, rock us, rock us. Black Dolly Radio. Lord. Rock us, rock us, rock us. Black Dolly Radio. In the dark of the alley, in the break of the day, I'm getting hit while I'm driving, getting hit while I'm driving, and there's something so open, the knuckles are pain, man, I feel like you're dying, Lord, I feel like you're dying, blood clot. Black Dolly Radio, Blood Clot.